Hi, my name is CJ and this is my RC channel. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing the new Kyosho Inferno MP10e. This is a brand new 1/8 scale buggy. Kyosho has retired the MP9 and just brought out their MP10. There's a lot of really interesting features that make this an advanced 8th scale electric buggy. I'm looking forward to doing a full build series for you. Every nut and bolt will be covered, and then I'm going to be taking it to the track. And now that I've got some upgraded camera equipment, I'm going to be able to show you some detailed race footage, lap footage, show you how the car is handling, why it's handling, and we're going to talk about off-road car building and tuning, tires, and all kinds of other topics. But that's down the road. Let's start by opening the box and seeing what's inside. I've been wanting to get into 1/8 scale off-road for a while now, and I really like what Kyosho has done here. I like the design, and so I decided to buy in and get myself ready for the fall and winter indoor racing season. And one of the really interesting things about it is the layout. You can see that the motor is mounted centrally. The drive shafts are kicked out a little bit. And likewise, the electronics is mostly mounted centrally, whereas the batteries are mounted on either side. And there's several advantages to this. Advantage number one is that it's lower. It lowers your center of gravity. If you're using a 4S pack as a single pack, and you've got like the motor and electronics on one side and you've got the battery pack on the other, that's a tall pack, and that makes for a higher center of gravity. Or even if you're using two that are either one on top of another or stacked side by side on end, like some kits set them up that way. Another thing is you could potentially run shorty packs and move them forward and back and adjust your weight bias. But even if you're using the standard size packs, you've got a dramatically lower center of gravity, because the two packs, you know, and they're also, because they're side by side like this, you're going to have a lower polar moment. It's going to rotate more smoothly. There's just a lot of handling benefits to this design. Another thing is that I like the suspension. I thought about an X-Ray, and I've been wanting to get one of their kits for a long time. It's in the same price range, but X-Ray uses those large ball linkages as opposed to pins and rotate and let's see if we can get close in. I prefer this type of suspension to the types that have those big spheres, high and low, and everything rotates on those. I think they're a pain to keep clean. I think that there's a lot of opportunity there for stiction. X-Ray makes a conversion kit where they sell you a different set of arms, a different set of steering blocks, a new control linkage, and that's like $150 on top of an almost $500 kit. And it's like, why would you go there? So anyway, there's a lot of things about this kit that I just prefer. It comes with a couple of different spring rates, reds in the front, purples in the rear. And as I usually do, I went online and I spec'd out what exactly these spring rates were. I found a Kyosho spring chart, which I'll put up down the road for you guys and show you where to find it. And then I went onto their site and I ordered a couple of different springs. Now the front reds are almost at the top of their stiffness range. They're the second from the stiffest. So I bought the two next grades down in softness. I didn't go with the stiffer than red. I think that's probably as stiff as I would want. I can always pick that up down the road. I also, for the rears, I picked up the spring above and the spring below the purple. So I've got some tunability right off the bat. And the springs combined with varying the shock weight fluid should give me a lot of experimenting to do. I also picked up a couple of extra sway bars, front and rear. I didn't get a whole bunch of them. I just got, let's see, I got a lighter front and a stiffer front and a lighter rear. And I'm going to play with that and see how that goes. So anyway, here we have our nice bag of shocks. It comes with bladders. It doesn't have individual machined pistons here. So what I'm probably going to do is count up these holes and go online. As I'm doing this with you, I'm going to look through and see if I can see some pistons on the loose elsewhere. But I don't like pistons that you have to cut them off a tree. I'd rather get some that are machined from their option parts list. Wait a minute, here we go. Here we go. Here's some standalone pistons. So these I will install. The other ones I'll toss. And I may eventually pick up some different pistons, but usually the stock pistons they give you are pretty good if they give you a machined piston. You can do a lot just by varying the fluid. If you really need more pack, you can go to smaller holes. But you know, this is probably a good place to start, along with changing fluids and changing springs. Here we have a nice printed information pack and instructions, and thank you guys for doing that. A lot of companies now are giving you like a little thumb drive, like I had with the Serpent. I like the Serpent, great kit. I just would have preferred that they printed out a manual for me, so I didn't have to run through a bunch of toner and paper on my own to do that. Let's see. Another interesting thing about this kit, these look like battery boxes or mounting for batteries. There's some little weights. I need to figure out what those do and where they go, because there's a bunch of those in the aftermarket, or in the performance upgrade section of the Kyosho's website. That's one of the things you can find for a lot of cars. If you go to their website, not just a vendor site, you actually go to Kyosho America, or go to the Kyosho Asia site, which is probably the better place to go first. And they have an English translation, and then go into the description, and you'll see a link for replacement parts. And then you'll see a link for option parts. The same thing is done by Serpent. And the replacement parts are what comes with the kit. So those are all the standard things that if you bust something that came out of this box, that's where you're going to find it, in that set of pages. The option parts, you're going to find things like extra springs. So in other words, when you go to Inferno and you go to their replacement parts, you're going to see the red fronts and the purple rear springs, and you're not going to see any other springs. That way you know what's in the kit. Then when you go to the option parts, you'll see all the other springs that they offer. So that's a good way to spec things out, kind of get a feel for stuff. Okay, these are shims. Those might be for roll center. Looks like we've got some aluminum bulkheads and or steering blocks. This nice big aluminum motor mount. That's thicker than a 1/4 inch. That's like 3/8 thick aluminum. Very nice. Bunch of different servo arm options. Here we have our Diff cases. And that's the other thing that I picked up. I didn't go crazy buying option parts. I kind of wanted to just see where things go. But one of the things I did pick up, other than the springs and a couple of sway bars, was I picked up an extra rear wing tower. It's a one-piece tower, and that's definitely a breakable item. So are the wings, and so I picked up one of those. They were it's like $11. The other option part that I bought was the Diffs. There's, to put these spider gear arrays together, there's a pair of shafts that the gears run on, and they make a lightweight aluminum set. So I bought a couple sets of those to replace the heavier steel ones. That lightens up the drivetrain, makes the drivetrain move faster. And I don't know if there's a center diff or not, so I may need to order a third set of those, but I'll see as I go. All our bearings are in there. Let's see, we've got some big aluminum shock towers. Those are nice, heavy items. Here we've got some parts trees with our swing arms. Not sure if those are front or rear. Everything is nicely bagged. More ball bearings. I'm guessing by the size of this shock tower that this is front swing arms and front drive shafts. Everything's very nicely packaged and organized, gotta say that. Okay, here we've got a couple of plastic side trays. They go on either side of the chassis. And this looks like, oh, that's our center chassis brace, mud guards. Those are rear suspension items, rear sway bar. More ball bearings. This thing has a lot of bearings. I did not buy a ceramic bearing kit for this. I think I'm going to put it together as is and see how it goes. I can always tear it down and do ceramics later. I was pretty much blowing out the budget on this as it was. That is a big aluminum servo saver. That's part of our steering rack right there. Those would be our Ackerman adjustment points. More ball bearings for the steering. Here we have more rear suspension. There's our rear shock tower. Our rear swing arms are right here. There's that one-piece wing mount that I was talking about. That is pretty sturdy. That is going to be a hard one to break. I may not have needed to actually buy one, but I figured $11, I'll throw it in the box. If I ever busted out the track, I got one. Oh, that's nice. A nice wrench for wheel hexes. They made of metal. Gotta love that. Here's our unpainted body. It is a nice looking body, definitely. Looks like it's very aero. It's very short. That's one of the things about this this battery layout. It's so aero because you're lowering the center of gravity. So the body can be lower, especially along the sides. So here we have a wing, and it's got a couple of different support bars that you can add or remove that are going to add some more kick to the rear edge. I forget the name of it. There's a very specific name for a little edge that comes off the back of a wing. It's named after the guy who invented it, and he basically found that, you know, like a ½ inch to an inch of vertical edge on the back of a wing made a huge aerodynamic difference. And So they kind of named it after the guy. And last but not least, here is our aluminum chassis, our pan. And it's very nicely milled. Looks like it's clearanced here for our center gear to, again, lower center of gravity. So there we go. Well, I got a couple items here I'll show you in addition. The motor and ESC have not arrived. I went with a McLaren combo on that. I got a, it's a Reefs RC Raw 500 servo. High torque, high voltage, waterproof. I decided to depart from Savox just for a change, no reason. You guys, if you watch my build videos, you know I've got a lot of Savox servos out there, but this time I went with something different. And since as soon as I get this built, I'm going to want to zoom it around somewhere, I grabbed myself a set of pre-mounted wheels and tires. Just a, I got a decent clay anyway, as I was saying before my phone call came in, I picked up 2 pairs of typos. This is a good clay compound, and it's a good tread pattern for just general hard pack clay, which is the type of tracks I'm going to be running on. That is it. The other items that are going to finish this off are en route, and I will discuss those in a later video. There's another thing I wanted to kind of show you guys. It's one of the other interesting things about this kit. Right here, the ESC has its own little mounting plate. You attach your ESC to that plastic plate, and then it screws into the bottom of the pan with 3 screws. It gives you better routing of wire, and it's easier to clean the car because you can just unbolt that pan, little plastic block from the pan, and move your ESC out of the way, clean out the pan. Definitely looks like we've got a center diff here. So I'll probably need to go ahead and order another set of those lightweight pins. I'm just going to pop open the directions and confirm that for sure. But it looks like an outstanding kit. It's, like I said, this is brand new. There's only a couple people that I've seen actually have videos on this. I don't think anyone other than Team People are racing it at the moment. And so if you're looking to get one, I would jump on it fast. They are probably going to sell out quick. As you can see, my box took a little bit of a beating in transport, but nothing was damaged. Sometimes that happens. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like, please subscribe. That's a big help for me. Helps me do these videos for you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to add them into the comment section. I usually try to get back to people within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes within a couple hours, depends on what I'm up to. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about the new Inferno MP10e. I highly recommend this kit if you're interested. I did a lot of looking and thinking and checking out all the other manufacturers' offerings, and I decided to go with this kit for more than a couple of reasons. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like and please subscribe to my channel.